Alright, so in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to get professions in MapleStory and how to get them to Meister. I'm going to actually show you how to do them on a brand new character from scratch, all the way to Meister on each of the professions. So let's start with what even are professions and how you get them. So if you go to any town map, you're going to see this quick move and you're going to see this Ardent Mill button. So if you go here, you're going to be transported to this special map called Ardent Mill, where you can learn professions and use them to craft different items that are really useful for your progression. But a lot of people don't quite understand how to get to the highest rank of any profession in an efficient way. So that's what this video is for. I'm going to be showing you guys how to get every single rank and all the way up to Meister in the best way that I believe you can do it. So as you can see, I have smithing, accessory crafting, and alchemy all at Meister. Recently, in I believe a patch ago, they changed it so that Meister does not decay anymore. So once you get to Meister, you're done. Like, you are at the highest rank. So all you have to do is do it once, and then you're set up forever on your character. But before you even try to get to Meister or Master, I would highly recommend Borderline. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even really bother unless you have Threads of Fate set up and working properly. So what does that mean? It means you need at least 3 NPCs. I will be linking a Threads of Fate like reset guide in the description. That's a whole different system, but you need at least 3 NPCs at over 50 closeness, so you can ask 2 of them and 1 of them is fodder. Now the reason for that is you need 1 NPC with gather herbs or chop wood, and you need another one with mine minerals. So for me, for example, I have Takeno that is gather herbs, right? So after the 30-minute time is up, I'm gonna have the herb pouches. So you get your herb pouches, but then you also need your mineral bags. So I have Kurama here who gives you my mineral bags with the mine minerals dialogue. Once you have these 2 NPCs giving you each mineral bag and herb pouches, they give you all the materials you need to get to Meister in each category. So they'll just give you a bunch of random stuff, whether it's ores or flowers and stuff like that. It gives you all the materials that you need to get to Meister really easily. Whereas the alternative is going to mine random stones and getting materials this way, but it takes way longer. If you have the Threads of Fate dialogues that give you herb pouches and mineral bags, it makes getting to Meister way easier. So I would highly recommend getting that set up and then trying to go for Meister and doing your professions. These superior item crystals are something you're going to need when crafting, and I'm going to show you one of the best ways to get them in my opinion. So you're going to need a character that has some sort of drop gear. So for me, I'm wearing 200 drop on this character. The drop gear just makes it a lot easier. You don't need 200%, but you just need some level of drop gear. And if you go to this map over here, Extreme Station 3, there's just a lot of mobs here. So you could just kill them all and they'll drop a bunch of gear and you could disenchant that gear. So I'm going to fill up my inventory with a bunch of gear from these mobs. All right, so I filled up my inventory with all the necessary gear. As you can see, I have a bunch of must-spell garbage, and I'm just going to press this gear icon. Now make sure you don't disenchant the wrong items. I have seen this happen so many times where people misclick an item that they wanted to keep and they lose it, and then Nexon support gives them back their item, but it has like no pot or something. And obviously you need to have at least 11 slots free in your etc tab, which is really weird. There you go. I've disenchanted everything. As you can see, I've gotten a bunch of superior item crystals, a bunch of phillostones, and advanced item crystals. So I find this a pretty easy way of getting materials, and I'm just going to send them to my Nightwalker. So to get these dusk essences that you're going to need for crafting, like in the boss rush recipe, you're going to be looking for veins and herbs that you can mine. As you can see, I just got a brilliant dusk essence from that one. The purple veins that say they're legendary, they give you the brilliant dusk essence, but the blue ones, they give you the regular dust essence. You're going to want to look for regular veins and regular flowers, and then you're also going to want to be looking for the legendary ones that give you the brilliant dusk essences as well. And the best way to go about this is to go to really popular Legion maps that people often train in, because they won't be mining. Like for example, I just CC'd once and I just found this, and now I pray I get a dusk essence, which I did. As you can see, I got a dusk essence. So just repeat this until you have a bunch of these and a bunch of these, and then you'll be good to go for Meister Alchemy. Alright, so I just did a pass through Green Folktown on 20 channels. And I got a bunch of Dusk Essence, which will help with my Meister Alchemy. So I'm on my Nightwalker here that has no professions unlocked at all. As you can see, I literally have nothing unlocked. So it's a brand new character that I could show you how to get Meister on each of them. When you're brand new, you're going to want to talk to Grant, accept this quest, talk to these two, learn mining, learn herbalism, talk to him, learn accessory crafting, learn smithing, and learn alchemy. And now you have all of them unlocked at level 1. Herbalism and mining, you don't have to worry about, just ignore them. And now we have smithing, accessory crafting, and alchemy. So we're going to start with smithing first. We're going to get to level 10 and then master and then Meister. So the best way to get to smithing is to just craft arrows. So if you go to the projectiles tab, there's going to be a bunch of different arrows. And how this works is there's a success chance of crafting, right? And the success chance is based off of what level you are. So for example, for these level 40 arrows, since they're low level, there's a 100% chance that when I attempt to craft it, it'll pass and I'll gain the mastery for it. So what is mastery, right? Whenever you craft something that's within your level range, you gain mastery. And the mastery goes here onto this bar and you need to fill it up so that you can level up. So for example, this arrow gives me 200 mastery and I need 250 mastery to level up. That means I need to craft this 2 times to fill up the 250 and then I could level up to level 2. Makes sense. For this example, this level 100 arrow only has a 21% chance of succeeding, even though it gives me more mastery. Since it's a higher level and I'm not high enough smithing level to really craft it with high success chance, I wouldn't bother wanting to craft this because it's only a 21% chance. I'm only going to waste my materials and I'm barely going to gain anything from it. So we want to stick with things that are low level. So I'm going to be crafting these arrows first. So I got these materials from doing the mine minerals from Threads of Fate, getting those mineral bags like I just mentioned. And now I'm going to be crafting the arrows. So I'm just going to craft 2 so you can see. As you can see, the mastery went up and now I have enough to rank up. You'll notice that the fatigue also went up. Whenever you craft something, you gain fatigue. You can't craft indefinitely. If this maxes out, you have to wait until either the hour finishes, like right now it's 12:08 p.m. I have to wait until 1 p.m. and then the fatigue goes down a little bit, or I wait till reset and the fatigue completely clears. There's other ways to lower the fatigue as well, but we'll get to that later. So now that I'm at level 2, I could talk to him, increase smithing level. Boom. Now I leveled up. And you'll notice that the mastery goes down a little bit because now I'm starting to be higher level than the thing that I'm crafting. And now for this arrow, the success chance has increased, but it's still not enough to be worth crafting. So we're just going to keep going with these level 40 arrows until we reach a point where the higher level arrows are worth crafting. Alright, so now that I'm at level 7, the success chance of these higher level arrows has increased to 95%. And these little arrows, they give me significantly less mastery than before. So I'm gonna roll the dice here and run the 95% and craft these arrows, which, you know, there is still a chance of failing, but come on, no way I fail 95%, right? Okay, so we didn't fail any and now we're level 8, increase. And now there's a 100% chance, so it's really easy to get to level 10 now. Okay, so now that my fatigue has reached its max, there's a couple ways to lower it. Like I mentioned before, I could either wait till the hour finishes or I could wait till reset. And I'll show you a couple other ways. Usually during big events in the coin shops, there are fatigue reset potions. So if I speak to Emma over here from the Maple Leaf shop, and I know you might not have this event going on when you're watching this video, maybe sometime in the future, but usually in events, I would say pretty much 100% of the time during events that have some sort of coin shop, there are these things called infinite revitalizers. Now, for this event, you could get 1 per day and it lowers your fatigue by 70. But other events, you could get like 10 per day, you could get 5 per day, but this event only gives you 1. So you could buy this every day to lower your fatigue. And the alternative is to go to the cash shop. Yes, I know, Nexon, bro. Go to the cash shop, search fatigue, and you can buy a fatigue reset drink, which completely lowers your fatigue back to 0. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be doing this to get back to 0, just to show you guys how to get Meister. So all you have to do is double click it and boom. Now my fatigue is back at 0. As you can see, it's back at 0 and I can continue crafting. All right, so now I'm at level 10, and for certain people, level 10 is really all you're going to need, but we're going to show you how you get Meister and why Meister is beneficial. So once you're at level 10, if you're a class that needs to craft a shield, for example, you'll be able to craft that shield at level 10 with 100% success chance. Shadower and Explorer Mage, you would be able to craft the shield that has 100% success chance because you're at level 10 now. Whereas if you weren't at level 10, it would be a lower success chance and you could fail the craft. So now that we're at level 10, how do we get to to level Master, which is level 11, and level Meister, which is level 12, the highest level. We are going to go about it by crafting a bunch of shoes. The timeless shoes are really good to craft because they give you a lot of mastery and they don't require a ton of resources. Whereas if I were to craft, for example, overalls, timeless overalls, it costs 10 of the same black crystals for the same amount of mastery. So we want to go with shoes. If you want to get the advanced abrasives, you just talk to this guy and you just buy a bunch of them. So as you can see, I can only craft like 5 of these, but it would be shoes. I would craft way more of them. See, I could craft like 26 of these. We're going to sit here and just craft a bunch of shoes. Now, if you find yourself running low on black crystals, you can also use dark crystals, which is just a replacement, and you could craft shoes with these as well. And there it is. So now that we've reached max mastery, we can increase to master level craftsman. And once you're at master, it's extremely easy. All you have to do is craft whetstones all the way to Meister. So if you find your inventory filled with a bunch of garbage from all the crafting that you've done, there's this little gear button here, and you can right click on all the useless items and press confirm here, and you can disenchant them and get materials back from them. It's kind of like recycling, so it helps out a lot. So definitely do this with the random items you crafted, the random items you get from bosses that you don't need, all that stuff, disenchant it. Now, if you're wondering how you get these items, Grand Spell Essence, Twisted Time, Superior Item Crystals. So the Superior Item Crystals, you could get them from disenchanting gear like I just showed. And the Grand Spell Essence, Twisted Time, you get them from just training. So it's very important to have a sufficient amount of materials before you try and get Meister. This is not something you could do like extremely early game. I would recommend doing it after you have a main that is a pretty decently high level, just so this process is way easier. If you don't have the materials, this process is just going to take forever. So we're just going to craft a bunch of whetstones. And now we finally reached the Meister rank. You don't even have to rank it up. As soon as you reach enough Master, you are officially Meister. And now you are done with Meister smithing forever. If you want to turn the effect off, just go to the Professions tab and uncheck the effect. Well, some people like it, so there you go. So now that you're Meister smithing, the main point of getting it is you unlock a skill in your beginner tab called Advanced Weapon Tempering. If you double click it, you gain 5% crit damage for 40 minutes, which if you are trying to min-max your damage, it is pretty significant. So we're done with Meister smithing. We're going to move on to Meister alchemy now. So if you want to get to level 10 alchemy, we're mostly just going to be crafting random health potions and stuff like that. This is a really easy way to get to level 10. So just make sure you get the bottles necessary by just talking to the NPC. So we can use these low-level potions to level up pretty quickly. And then you just talk to the NPC to level up. And we're just going to keep going until these give little mastery. And then we could craft the higher tier potions that give you more mastery. And when we increase their success chance. So as you can see, we're just slowly moving up and crafting more and more potions. And if your inventory just fills up, just get rid of all the potions. They're all useless. Alright, now that we've finally reached level 10, we're going to be working on getting to Master. I find that a really easy way of getting to Master is using these Juniper Berry Flower Oil. Again, you get a lot of them from doing the Threads of Fate herb pouch quests. So I'm just going to be crafting a bunch of these. Alright, and now that we're max mastery, we can get to Master Craftsman. And a really easy way of getting to Meister is you can either continue crafting these mana potions and slowly get your way up there, or craft some of the level 100 potions. So they don't give you a lot of mastery, but they are very cheap. So you could go about it the slow route by just crafting a bunch of like level 100 potions. Or you can also craft transformation potions, but it does require you to go farm materials, which is really annoying. And you're going to need magic powders, which you could get from heartstones, which you have to go out and get. Another way that's a very quick way of getting to Meister is by crafting these boss rush potions. But you are going to need dusk essence, which you're going to actually have to go out and go find from veins. So to get to Meister alchemy, in my opinion, I think it's the hardest one to get to because there is no ingredient that you could just spam craft. You actually have to go out and get a bunch of either dusk essences or mob drops. So these boss rush potions can be turned into advanced boss rush potions, which is pretty much the main reason why you want Meister Alchemy. They give you 20% more boss damage, so it is beneficial to craft these boss rush potions. Not only does it give you mastery, you do need it to craft the advanced ones as well. A better way to get Meister is to craft these 8-slot mineral bags and these 8-slot herb bags. They give you pretty much just as much mastery as the boss rush, but they don't require 3 dusk essences. They only require 1. So I'm just gonna craft a bunch of these. Now, the downside of crafting bags is they do have a ton of fatigue, so keep that in mind. This is something that's okay, you know, if you don't mind getting the resets, or you're near reset and you just want to craft stuff anyways, and it doesn't cost too many materials. So I use this method to get a pretty good boost in on the way, but I'm actually going to be using the mana potion as well, just because it's super cheap, even though it takes a really long time. You kind of just like set it and forget it. Alright, so I ran out of flower oils, and if you still want to craft stuff that'll take you all the way there, you can continue with the bags or the boss rushes. Both are fine. Or you could go with defense potion 9s. These are really cheap as well. But keep in mind that it all takes 5 fatigue, so whatever combination you need, it's still going to take a lot of fatigue regardless. I really believe that Meister Alchemy is the hardest one to get, just because there's no really good cheap crafting material that gives you a lot of mastery. Okay, so now we are Meister Alchemy, and we are absolutely done with Alchemy. Here's the effect. Kind of cute. And with Meister Alchemy, the main reason people would unlock it is for these advanced boss rush potions. So because we made boss rush potions along the way, we can craft the advanced ones that need the brilliant dusk essence. And each of these potions gives you 20% boss damage for 40 minutes. It is the exact same as the sparkling red potion that you could get from weekly bosses that last for 2 hours. But for people who don't do a lot of weeklies, don't have a lot of boss mules, and still want the 20% boss damage buff, you can get it through Meister Alchemy. And there it is. So now, last but not least, we are going to be working on Meister Accessory Crafting, which is very important because you need this to craft Meister rings, which are a very strong ring that you can use till the end game. So to get accessory crafting up, similarly to the other ones, we're just going to craft a bunch of low level rings and work our way up till we get to a high enough level that we're going to need to craft big stuff. So to get your abrasive, just talk to the NPC. And once you have the mastery filled in, just talk to him and rank up. And just repeat this process until either the mastery is inefficient or you can craft bigger items that give more mastery. Make sure while you're doing accessory crafting, you constantly disenchant the items, since your inventory is going to fill up really quickly. Just press that gear icon and then right click the items and disenchant them, but you need to make sure you have enough ETC slots as well. Or you can just drop them if you want, but disenchanting them gives you a chance of getting some of the materials back. So once you're at level 8, you're going to see that some of these rings become available. But these rings cost 10 advanced item crystals, so they're really expensive. Even this one that's just 1 garnet, it's still 10 advanced item crystals, which is that's just too much. I wouldn't recommend it. So I would still craft like these rings that are only 1 diamond. Even though it's 190, which is slightly less fatigue or slightly less mastery, it's still worth crafting these over the more expensive ones. All right, now that we're level 10, in order to get to level master, we can either craft these timeless earrings, or we can craft these shoulders that require sealskin. Now these sealskin shoulders are actually really good in getting to master, but you do need dark crystals and black crystals. If you were doing the threads of fate, you won't have any problem getting these materials, and I'll show you how to get the sealskins. This is like a little bit of like a hidden tech, I guess, but the sealskin route is like really easy. So all you have to do is go to Aqua Road and just TP here and kill all of these seals and walruses, and you'll see that they drop the seal skins that you need. Obviously this is faster with drop gear, but you can see my Nightwalker has 0 drop and I'm still getting them pretty much on every kill. As you can see, these seal shoulders, they give a lot of mastery. The only thing is you just need these dark crystals. Just from 4 seal crafts, I'm already so much of the way there. But if you don't have the dark crystals that you need, you can also craft timeless earrings, and they give you a lot of mastery as well. So we're just going to craft a bunch of these as well. All right, so through the earrings, we've reached Master. And now, once we're at Master, it's really easy to get to Meister. You can either go about it in 2 different ways. There's 2 ways that you could do it. There's the old way, which is crafting these warrior symbols, magician symbols, archer, thief, pirate, these gray ones. And then you use those in this recipe with the gray warrior Meister variant. And then that'll give you a ton of mastery. So you could do that as well. And it's really good. Or you could just craft a bunch of magic emberstones, which is what I'm going to do, because the magic emberstone way is super easy and it just sends you all the way there. You do need phillostones, which you just get from disenchanting equips. So it's not that hard to get. And now we are Meister accessory crafting. This is what the effect looks like. I think this is my favorite effect out of all of them. There it is. That's how you get Meister on all 3 of them. And now that we are Meister accessory crafting, we are able to craft Meister rings. Obviously, if I had the materials to, I would be able to craft it. And I probably will eventually. But that's how you get Meister on all 3 of them. I went out of my way to get Meister on my Nightwalker on all 3 of them. Maybe you could say I'm trolling, but for the sake of the video, I wanted to do it just to actually show you guys how to do it. Not just say, oh, you know, craft these items. No, I wanted to sit down and show you how to do it. I know this video is not 3 hours long, but just a little fun fact. The recording has reached 3 hours long. So it took me about 3 hours total to get everything done. And that's with constantly buying fatigue resets, and with most of the materials already in hand, it took me 3 hours. So keep that in mind. Meister is not something that you're probably going to get in a day or even 2 days. It's probably going to take multiple days to get all of them to Meister. But again, I cannot stress enough, make sure you have the Threads of Fate herb pouches and mineral bags sorted out. It will make this entire experience so much easier. If you don't have it, then it is going to be so much slower, because you have to just go out and mine flowers and heartstones and veins like for a very long time. But if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I will do my best. I always read all the comments and I'll answer your questions. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Honestly, saying that sounded mad weird. I don't really say that out loud. But yeah, consider it and show your friends how to get Meister. But yeah, anyways, goodbye. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my amazing members: Blazefire, Shooms, Uju, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Grim 4K, Koga, Pabo, Piconir, and Jesse. I appreciate you guys so much.